for basically formulating a plan and understanding your mindset in your program in terms of throwing in some scalps and long plays. All right, all right. Oh, YouTube is up and ready to go. Welcome, YouTubers. How's it going? On the terms of trades right now, I've got the option chain up and ready to go. Currently looking at January 31st for potential scalps and February 2nd. Man, big red candle off of R1 dumping down. And if you look at the price action for Euro, it was down and down and down all day and still continuing. So you have to be cognizant of the market conditions right now, as I don't see very much bullishness. In fact, everything on my list right now is bright red with the exception of a few items. We started out pretty green, and now we are down in the red pretty aggressively. In fact, we're down almost 0.5% on the day. 440.10 on SPY, and looking for more. Looking for more. Mic sounds different. I don't know. Let me know if something I can change, but I think everything is still normally as I do it. All right, so I've been up a lot this evening. This afternoon, I was up. I stayed up a little later after the family went to sleep and did some trading. Had three phenomenal plays at the kind of start of the week off on the right foot. I was up again right at Euro Open. It was pretty much a nothing sandwich, and then, of course, got on a little earlier today. Didn't see very much opportunity. I'd like to just do some admin work and not do many trades this morning. So. And here we got a green candle right back up to R1. Chop fest so far. Name of the game right now until we get a clear direction is to look at some potential tranches for Friday on selling some premium. I do want to take advantage of some the higher premiums with the VIX remaining this elevated. However, you still want to remain cognizant of the potential for more downside. Nice healthy green candle up here. The Nasdaq was slightly more bullish throughout the afternoon than SPY because Nasdaq finally broke above the 14,500 range, and the commensurate action with the futures did not follow along. So just keep an eye on Nasdaq. Nice healthy green action here coming up to 442. Always want to remain careful in trading in pre-market hours. It's it's different than the normal trading sessions. Anybody who does spending a lot of time doing that knows that the action is a little bit different. You have to be a little bit more on your toes. Bear with me 1 second while I start looking at the first tranche for Friday, February 4th. Let's see here. Tomorrow starts the first day of Tier 4. I'm very, very excited about it. If you're interested in Tier 4, we've got a lot of details coming out about that. That'll be online. $125 a month gets you access to a lot of proprietary information, income-producing help, as well as help with your system. A couple of different things, trades going for the week that you can turn into. As long as it should be no problem paying for the premium. That's the thing, is the knowledge and the devices you will get to handle the market will be greatly more valued than the $125 you will actually pay. So access to veterans, it's a fantastic tool, and I hope you all are excited as I am about working with them. Green candles right up to R2. Right up to R2. Alrighty then. Let's see. Just bear with me 1 second. Oh, nice premium. Alrighty. All right, here we go. All right, so we have all up to R2, which is I've got. Let's see, I didn't label as R3 and S4 are the two big resistance levels and support levels. I need to go in and notate those. And I've got R3 here and S4. So look as we start approaching both of those to a little bit of price action, right up to R3, R4, which is where we hovered around in post market Friday, and now we're rejecting that. Hey, what's up, Steven? Mei Lee, how you doing? How's everybody doing? VIX finally punctured through that 28.44, trending on down. We've got a couple of different pivots down here at 27.99 and down at 27.25. Let's watch as it starts to navigate around there. The red candle immediately bought up. NASDAQ trying to break out the top of the trend here. Looking at, to start the day off, some January 31st contracts. Nicely done, Z-Bready. Nicely done. Little 20%er start the week off. That's a fantastic way to start the week. Just purchased 5 puts for a reversal. Me personally, long-term or daily puts? 0Ds or longer? Good morning from Hong Kong. Starting out the Chinese New Year holiday this week from tomorrow. Nicely done. Well, welcome, welcome from across the world. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. I think it's too early to buy puts for reversal. I'm going to wait. I would probably guess maybe in the our normal time reversal for the morning, or obviously if you're thinking longer term, I'm going to wait a few days. A few days. I think the later half of the week will bring in that type of action. 600K and 440 puts just came in. All right, once again, pounding up through R2. Can we test R3, which is the biggest obstacle of the day so far in terms of upward mobility at 443? VIX is still descending to the downside. I want to be very patient. The 1005 reversal has been very, very good to us the past few weeks. And I do not want to jump the gun and get burnt when I could have just been patient and taken advantage of those other particular time frames. Nice healthy green candles here. Nice healthy 14,575, which is where we just above where we topped out in pre-market on the Nasdaq. I would love a nice strong bull climb early in the morning to get out a lot of this volatility and then look into some call credit spreads later in the morning. Later in the morning. So kind of let this juice run a little bit, pump up the premiums, and then jump in. Booyah. Still climbing on the NASDAQ, still climbing on the futures here. Strong bottom wick on the VIX here, so watch out, watch out. We got green on the Nasdaq still. Futures are a little bit more bullish here or bearish. I want to flip over to XLF, see what's going on with them. Downtrend action in the XLF, still not quite as strong. XLK, very green so far. A little red candle forming at the moment. Everything else is either down or trending down or kind of downward flat, except for real estate here. But XLF needs to turn around here. Very, very bearish. Take a look at the bonds. Climbing up just a touch, and TNX. If you noticed, I added another section onto my watch list. I wanted to monitor not only the overall over-under of the global markets, but I wanted to kind of analyze the action throughout the day, especially as we get closer to 11:30 Eastern Time, which is when the markets close, the European markets close. So I added the UK, the Swiss, the Deutsch, and the French market as well, in addition to the Asian markets, Hong Kong. So those there at the bottom there, and I'll be monitoring those as we get closer to time. For example, here, this is the action on the euro markets. So we started out very high. We've been trending down and flat the rest of their session. Oh, man. All right. Hey, hope you had a good weekend. Let's make some money. That's right. Let's make a little money. Let's make a little money. So no riding the train, and we can wait for reversal. The past week, I've been waiting until the morning range. The morning is set. It's working out really well for me. I'm not really trading the morning stuff. I'm playing the breaks. So this early stuff has been reversed almost every time. So I'm just waiting for it to play out here. We'll take that 10:05 Eastern trade, or a little bit after, and focus on that, on the movement there. Nice, no bad trader. Nice, good trade. Hope that one works out. All right, testing. One, two, three. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, right up to R2 here. I just need to see if we can follow along. We still got 20 minutes until the 10:05 time. We've got the 8 EMA is trending upwards nicely above VWAP. VIX is heading down to the bottom pivot. We got some bottom wicks forming there, so the potential for it to reverse. Be on guard because the futures are now hovering 44.28. I've been watching this all night long. We have touched 44.30 levels like 6 times and rejected 100% of the time. Obviously, we don't have the volume of the day session here, but it still remains a key level, and we need to watch out for that 44.30. Don't get hung up on that level until you see some nice upwards mobility blasting upwards. The afternoon has been chaos. Yep, for sure has. I woke up with a bit of a chest congestion this morning, so forgive me if I'm muting a lot. I don't want to just ramble your ears with coughing. But all right, so wait for the break here. We're currently hovering up here. That's the game plan. We've got about 10 or so minutes here. Remember, a couple of days last week, I didn't even trade the first 2 hours of the day and then went on a tirade in the afternoon. So be very patient. You don't have to force a trade. To set the game plan, though, let's pick out some trades. Currently looking on January 31st, 44.50s, 44.25s. We're going to take on either side. If you're looking at SPY, let's take a look at 444s and 439s. 444, 439s. Straight red action off of that top. Once again, rejecting 44.30 on the futures. Cannot hold that level for nothing. For nothing. So this right here is my makeup of the global markets. I'm going to monitor all these. Just a price action going into the afternoon. Nothing too crazy, but I definitely wanted to make sure the price action, especially their crazy trend reversal. They opened up very, very green and then smashed down. So definitely wanted to monitor these, and I'm going to flip back and forth between these charts. I got the Deutsche over here, and then I've got the Swiss top right and the FTSE top left. Very, very crucial week. A very, very crucial week, especially when everyone is anticipating the bounce. If you go look on Twitter, which is also most of the time is just a dumpster fire of bias. But if you go look out there, there's a lot of expectation for a face-ripping bull rally this week without doing any due diligence. So nicely done on that contract on that put, Nomad Trader, right up to 442.50. My puts are getting smashed. I assume you opened them before then, but hopefully get a little relief there. Getting closer to the time to start entering some trades. What's up, Zach? Can you tell me which Patreon plan is the right one for me? All right, well, there's a couple of different options. The tier 1 gets you access to all the options buying, puts, calls, etc., all the normal stuff. You get access to my plays, you get access to my commentary, and then the live streams. If you want to look into doing some premium writing, theta plays, spreads, etc., then you can jump into the super Patreoners, which is a tier 2. Tier 3 is more educational. You have the Zoom calls, the group session Zoom calls every month that you can take a part of. Not to mention, I opened up a voice channel for some tier 3 only live trades where we do some very aggressive trades that in terms of not aggressive plays, but aggressive commentary where I'm kind of going over every little aspect of my thought on a fine-tuned manner. We do that a couple times, and then that's tier 3. And then, of course, tomorrow is tier 4. You get access to myself, all of the 1, 2, 3 benefits, as well as the access to Veteran, who will, all proprietary information will be exclusive to the tier 4. So whichever one you like, you can be as little as or in depth as you want. A lot of great stuff coming to the community the next year, so a lot of big plans. Hope you're a part of it. Just my personal opinion, I became bearish in December. I'm right there with you. Here's the thing, though. I caution against being long-term bearish. Yes, obviously the market is very difficult to fall because there's going to be always buyers willing to buy up the dip. Even in bear markets, it doesn't go straight down. There's always a big pop. So just be careful being long-term bearish. Because even in downtrend, your bearish plays can get smoked. That's all it is. It's harder for this thing to fall than it is for it to climb, as predicted as the past 2 years. Absolutely. I definitely agree with you, Nomad Trader. I definitely agree with you. Hey, look at that green candle right there. Right up to the top. Blasted to R2 like it was nothing. Now heading up to R3. Little LRS. Lee Rat special. That's some strong buying action right there. Strong buying action. All right, so futures just hit the 44.33. Once right back to this level. Let's see if we could pop up and take out 44.50. Yeah, juice up that CCS. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I need to shake off this put bias. I know some of these are coming out. I never play them. Uh, yep, yep. It's okay to have a downward bias as long as you're flexible enough to play calls when it's necessary. It's to be aware of downside probabilities, but and play the upside when it comes. I do, Zach. Yes, I do. Yep, yeah, I feel you. There's a lot of that out there for sure. All right, watch this level. Very important. Nasdaq still climbing up here as well as the futures. We got 10 minutes till 10:05. Which, it's interesting. This is an interesting little perfect storm scenario, potentially. The VIX is starting to near a very crucial pivot that it's been bouncing off of all week, in addition to approaching this 10:05 time. Do we have everything that's in continuity where we can kind of make a high probability play? That is the key. Maybe we'll hollow out that range, which is pretty common. Hollow out the range right before it sets, and then kind of sit tight. Alrighty, still going up. Still going up. Right up to R2. More green on all the big tech here. Yeah, so we know we've got the Vets morning session range, which is open market open to 10:05 Eastern time. Uh, it starts to it does the more normal price action that expands that range and forms the range. Well, like right before we sometimes get that big candle that kind of hollows out one way or the other. Usually up here we'll kind of give one more push and then it'll set right at 10:05. Very welcome. Very welcome. All right up here to R3. I've got 4430 puts up ready to go January 31st, just in case we get a reversal. Right now, right at the 10:05, we've got 7 minutes. 7 minutes. A little bit of red here, not much. Want to take a look at the big dogs. Apple starting to round over. Microsoft green. Amazon's kind of downward trending here. Google, Tesla, Facebook, all kind of doing the like some of them are starting to trend up here, but some of them are flat. Berkshire and J.P. Morgan are both inverse. Berkshire's red, J.P. Morgan's green. SPY is starting to climb back up here. Apple still rounding over just a touch, just a touch. Fingers on the buy button right now for this position. All right, there's that final push to hollow this thing out just a touch. Looking at the 4430 puts, not buying just yet, but I've got the 4430 puts right now on January 31st, up and ready to go. All right, testing R3, the strongest level I've got calculated on the day. Can it pop through, or will it reject? Man, big green candles right up through R3, still climbing up to R4. Morning range right now is 439.70ish or 82 up to 433.89. So looking at about a $4 range, $3 or $4 range, which is quite aggressive. XLF now starting to turn green and climb, and SPY is just blowing out the top now. Nasdaq climbing up to 14.642, SPY 443.92. There's that watermark here for you. Right up to R4. All right, 3 minutes. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? So Apple buying up that red, now blasting out the top. All of tech is absolutely roasting right now. Yeah, it did go right through that after that, but that the pre-market high for sure. It was just blasted right through that. So futures now at 44.46. So I had no problem coming up there, and now heading to 44.50 and bouncing off R4. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. Hope you do as well. Hope you do as well. There's that first red candle. All right, now if we break upward from here, that's when I'm going to start taking calls. I'm looking at the 44.60s now, in addition to the 44.30s, and I could see I could pop into any one of them here. Wherever we break is where I will take. We're right at 10:05. Good job. Oh, thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. Make sure you join tomorrow, though, because if you join today, you'll be double charged today and tomorrow. That's something Patreon does. So, yeah, I look forward to having you in the community. All right, a little bit of red here. A little bit of red, not much, but a little bit of red. Alrighty then. I got two plays in the book so far, all both theta plays for now. I took an iron condor that's expiring on Friday, and then a call credit spread today, 0 DT call credit spread. So as I'm just waiting for this price to break, I just want to throw those in there. Bam, bam. Let's see. NASDAQ wants to go here. And VIX is starting to break down. You said to join today. Oh, no. Yeah, make sure you join tomorrow. Tomorrow. Because you will be double charged. Yeah, as long as it's after midnight. All right. Boom, big pop. Testing out some calls right here. I want to make sure that I don't get reversed on at this 10:05, so I'll pop in. I'll just about pop out if things start to break down right now. But it looks like the way Nasdaq is rolling, we're going to roll up here. Currently got the 4460s coming back up, and there's another follow-on green. And I'll look at closing out here shortly if things start to break down. But I like the way this is going. Got the 4460 calls January 31st going up to R5. That green candle on the NASDAQ is why I elected to throw this in there, as well as the breakdown in the VIX. Breakdown in the VIX. Still climbing. Going to go ahead and take half there at 2080. I put in a fill order for 2080. Let's see if I can get it. Bam, got it. All right, and now I've got the other half running. Now 21. Don't want to be aggressive with these things. Just toe in and out, toe in and out. Not much. And still going. Tech is just quite flying. See, this thing is not going to do this all day. It's gonna throw out its energy early, and then it's going to reverse. R5 already, so 444.99. That's going to be a big move so far, and the futures are touching 44.54. All right, still letting the rest of this product run. I'm sorry, not product. I don't even know what I was thinking. All right, so we got 22 right here. Let's see if we can keep on going. I got 2130. There's 21. Let's put in an order fill for 2150. Can I get it? 2170. 2160. All right, 2150. Can I get it? 2150's entered. Now, 21. Can I get 21? Bam. All right, got 21. Half that product's out. Dang it, I said it again. What's going on with that? All right, 2080, and I got 21. That's weird. I'm being weird. Anyway. All right, that's one play. That's one play in the book. So that's 3 plays total. The 2 thetas and the 1 long play here. Booyah. Thanks, Zach. Look forward to having you. Look forward to having you. All right, now up here to R5. R5. That was a 4460. 4460 call on January 31st. Entered at 18. What was that? 1810? What was that entry? Let me look. Yeah, 1810. Exited at 2080 and 21. I had 2 exits, 2080 and then 21. So what I was looking at there, and I'll post a write-up and throw it in the OM analysis channel. However, what I was looking at is the VIX breaking down, and the big proponent was the big launch of NASDAQ, and the futures hadn't quite followed along just yet. They were a little bit laggy. I would probably guess is that because XLF wasn't quite following along, it was kind of holding it down a little bit, but eventually got there running, and we popped right back up, and I exited right at R5, and then it wicked down, and now we're testing it again. But for me, although I am playing a couple of zero scalps now, I'm not looking to YOLO or gamble with zeros. I want to pop in and out. That's what they're intended for. So I would rather have just nice pop in and out, in and out, in and out. Nice small gains. Nice small gains. Now back up to R5, continuing to blow out the top. Calls are now 22, but no position. A lot of top wicks here. So what I'm going to do is zoom out to the big single chart. I'm going to go to the 15. Nice top wick here on the 15, 60-minute. There it is as well. Strong green candle, but a top wick is starting to form around this consolidation range here at 445 and then 444.5. Going back to the 3-minute. Top wicks there and back to the normal try chart. VIX is just below our normal pivot here, which is 27.44, and we're just below that in the prior pivot there as well. As look, if you can see the pattern of the VIX propensity to reverse here, there, and then last week as well. And let's see if it does it here as well. Strong bull move right out of the gate for the market, 439.90 all the way up to 445.16. That's about a $5.50 move right there. 50-point move on SPX. Same thing. Same thing I did at 10:05. I'm looking for calls, inputs right now. I'm just going to play the break, whatever comes. 44.30s, and I'll go back into the 40. Actually, we'll jump up to the 44.80s now in the event that we climb up. 44.80s currently going for $11.70 a piece. I'm playing the break. Playing the break. The secret is no holding. The second you start holding and hoping for 30%, 40%, I am perfectly content with a small percentage. Especially when I start playing the shorter DTEs. For the longer stuff, I'll hold on a little bit longer, but for the shorter stuff, I'm in and out. I'm in and out, popping in and out. The second I see a nice little healthy percentage on a run that meets my thesis, I'm out. Anyway, NASDAQ holding top of the AM range. Futures still climbing just a touch, right under R5. I did not form an R6, so I'll have to go in and do a little calculation if we start blasting upwards here. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take this over off screen. Let's see, I'll leave that one. Don't mind my matrix background there. Bam. And I'm going to formulate these things. SPY. That's a good one. All right, I've got R6 and 7 ready to go in the event that we need it. So watch the NASDAQ. Watch the NASDAQ. They've got a lot of top wicks as well as the future, or I'm sorry, SPY, just under R5. The VIX is right here at the bottom. We need it to extend or bounce. That's what I'm looking at. If SPY, and I'll try to give you a frame of thought into a future trade, if we get a lot of strong action above R5 with the commensurate action for the other proponents that I'm looking at here, like the futures, or I'm sorry, the NASDAQ, then I'll look at taking a call here. I don't want to buy just the bounce in the future in SPY. I mean, I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry. I don't want to buy just a green candle on only SPY because that's probably going to get reversed or immediately sold off. That's a low probability play. So Now that you see, like Nasdaq is not quite as strong at the moment as SPY, I want to start looking into the X's to see why it's doing that. My first go-to is XLF, and that's probably the reason right there. XLF is strong green and climbing out the top. Bonds are doing the same thing here. So this is that moment where the bonds and the XLF are going the same direction. XLY climbing up here probably because that is the consumer discretionary, and it has a lot of the big wigs in it that are also very green. XLV right now, healthcare very strong right now, and then of course XLK is strong, but XLF, that little straight climb green reversal, is really throwing some Momo into SPY. Now testing R5 again. A lot of top wicks here. I'm not going to buy this unless we get the breakout. That's what I'm saying. I'm being very careful. I've got 4480 calls up, ready to go. But there's a lot of top wicks here. A lot of top wicks. There we go. There's a little red. Look at the NASDAQ coming back into the range. Now we're just hanging out, waiting for calls. 3 plays on the day. 3 plays on the day. What has changed at your trading spreads again? The unexpected has become incrementally more expected, if that makes any sense at all. Yesterday was a complete unknown. Today is definitely more unknown, but a little bit more. I have a little bit better grasp on this week than I did last week. Yeah, last week I was just kind of like Wild West playing from the seat of my pants. And this week, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Still holding here, right at R5. Took 53% on some 440s I bought on Friday. Nice. Well done. Well done. Big green right through R5 here. It's one of those days, isn't it? It's going to be one of those days. I can feel it in my bones, down in my plums. I can feel it down in my bones. It's going to be one of those days where you just buy calls and let it ride. Starting to look that way, at least. Look at that. Big green candle. Smoke show. All right, 4480s. Ready to pull the trigger on these babies. Make sure it doesn't get reversed. I got insane price movement. I got put a limit buy at 34.40 and got filled at 33.80. Yeah, it's all over the place. In fact, interesting conversation. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, when we had that big downward move, I'm talking one. I guess one of them. All the days run together now. When we had that big downward move that smoked, like 100 and something points, you couldn't do limit orders. Like you would try to put in a limit order, and then you would get like E-Trade would give you a rejection saying the limit order is like outside of 25% of the mid, and it would just reject the order because of that. So you just had to do market orders, which is why I was doing market orders because there's no other option. The price is moving so quick by the time you hit preview and enter that it would give you that notification that it rejected because it's outside the limitations. Oh, yeah, all right. So I'm going to post R6 in the OM analysis channel. R6 is for, bam, R7. All right, and just use a conversion value over there to throw that onto SPX. I posted the conversion value also in the OM analysis channel, so just do the math. But there you go. There you go. What can we get for some far outside credit spreads? Let's see. Man, oh man, look at that. That's a 40 wide. That's a little wide. I think I just might bolster the call side of my iron condor a little bit because I can still get $1 for those right now. Nope, I can't. I lied. I was looking at the wrong thing. 65 cents. Still may do it though. Yep. Sorry. Just bam and then bam. There you go. Fixed. That'd be like R15. But yeah, they're fixed now. Do I think SPY could hit 448 today? Could it? Sure. Nothing's off the table this week. That's why I'm not trying to make predictions on up or down. I'm just telling the relative move, the absolute value of the move, is about 200 points this week. Whether that be up or down is up to the market, and I'm playing as it comes. I will tell you, if we have another major sell-off like we did last week, I don't expect it to have an equivalent and as aggressive immediate return to the bull action. Obviously, we're going to get some sort of relief bounce, but that's just insanity, and eventually that just can't continue to happen. Although, I could be proven wrong, but that's just my thoughts. That's the one I'm looking at today to SPY. That same call credit spread, just to bolster my IC. In fact, I almost got that same fill. I'm trying to get that now. I've got the same limit order in. Exact same one. All right, red candles just on R5. I've got R6 calculated. I don't have it plotted yet until we need it. I posted it in the OM analysis channel. I agree, sample stuff. I agree. Let's see, we've got the rates are now 1.79, climbing back up just a touch. Bonds are starting to climb through the top. Something to be aware of. Try not to get euphorically bullish as the bonds are continuing to grind upwards here. But also a sign, high liquidity. If they're both climbing together, it's a sign of high liquidity. This is the same type of action we saw pre-market. It would climb and then go flat, although it's definitely above pre-market levels, just the same action. I've been subbed to you for a while now, but never watched your live streams until 2 weeks ago. I've been watching every morning. You've been trading since. Great informational content. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. I'm glad to finally have in the YouTube. 246 people watching, by the way. If you wouldn't mind, head on over and click that little thumbs up button. It helps us grow, helps other people see this content on their recommended videos on the YouTube homepage. Greatly appreciate that. All right, there's some red again. Do we bounce off the upper range, or do we retrace down to VWAP or further? Right now, no additional plays other than the one call I took. Roughly 10% on that. I'll do the calculation later and post it up. I just don't want to take the time to type when I could be jumping into a play. I did not get that 65-cent fill on my 46.75s for Friday, so those are still open order. I do have the Iron Condor, obviously, but hey, nice red on the NASDAQ. Where's that going to take us? Can we break down inside the AM range? Is it too soon to call it a comeback? Pork chop sandwich coming out with 57%. Well done. Awesome play. Awesome play. I took 10 credit spreads, 45-25s here, hoping. Well done. I've got one on cooking right now as well. All right. Little seller action. So we have increased selling volume here. The VIX is once again trying to bounce about this level. And we've got a little red. We're through the 8. We're trying to test back the morning range, not quite getting the follow through. All right, green candle just flipped. Put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it, because now it's right back inside the AM range through the 8 and heading back towards VWAP. And look at the NASDAQ. Back inside the AM range. What you gonna do? Yeah, so now that we've got a little bit of red, I want to take a look at the 60. What's the 60 telling me? Huge top wick. It looks like a big old hypodermic needle. Because top wick right there as we come off of R5 back down to R3. And inside the morning range. Inside the morning range. Great trade, Dr. Fluffy Panda. That is awesome. 50% profit. Keep that up. Sounds like OM is familiar with his needles. Yeah, my wife is in the medical field, so she's always telling me about some medical stuff. You had some late 90s, early 2000s stuff right there. Yeah, I'm surprised some of y'all caught that. Ready for a customary $10 move to the downside. I would not be surprised. That's the problem. We are desensitized to these big moves the past few weeks now. It's like, all right, well, if we ended up at 434, just another day. Just another day. I mean, heck, we've already had a $5 or $6 move already this morning. So right now, I'm just waiting for some moves. I've got a couple of plays cooking, and I'm waiting for a move one way or the other. I could jump in. With this much volatility, I want to be very cautious front-running stuff. My ego tells me, hey, I want to go ahead and take a trade and let it set. But the problem is these moves are so aggressive, if you're wrong, you're going to be wrong big. Yeah, you could set a stop, but there's a lot of volatility here shaking. Stop loss hunts and these big candles can smoke you out. All right, looking at another potential plays here. I think personally the downside risk is higher than the upside risk for later in the week for my Friday positions. So I'm going to be looking at what I can do to bolster a couple of positions, how far I can get out. And these are for Fridays. By that, do you mean no? I'm not saying we're more likely to go up than down. What I'm saying is that in the event that a big move is made that's gonna test my iron condor, I would say the risk is more to the downside than upside. That's what I'm saying. You're welcome, W Dog. You're welcome. All right, so the buyers need to come off this morning range. Otherwise, we have to run the risk of coming back down, at least retracing to the middle of this AM range here. Because VWAP is right on there. There's a lot of resistances in this area. It's got to be going. Until then, I'm happy to sit there and let this thing eat. Just let my theta position start to go. Are you posting your trade? Yes, I am. I haven't posted the long play today, but I did post the two thetas. I just called it out live as I'm doing it, and I'll post a write-up here as we're getting some action, which I'm about to do. I just want to make sure I'm well positioned for a move. I don't want to miss out. Flat as a board right now, right on 444.51. Time for puts, potentially. Potentially. You love the Italian pinch metaphor. I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you like that. And go down. Boom. Going forward to the next couple of months or so, what headwinds do you think are most significant and which ones are overblown? I don't think there's much overblown. I think the supply chain issues with food are a little underappreciated. I think the inflation will be underappreciated until it starts smacking us in the face. The thing we have to realize is that this market is incredibly inflated over the past few years of incredible returns on equities. Tech stocks are absolutely ridiculous. Hey, hold on. Pause my soapbox for a second. Get some red. And we're right back inside the medium range again. Can we fall? Bouncing off of R4. What's the best one to go with? Let's take a look at deltas. I need to switch back to 40. All right, open interest 440/40s. I think I like. No, that's a little too far away. A little too far away. That's February 4th. And there's some red candles going with the 44/40s on SPX puts. Seeing if we can jump in for some flusheronis. We just broke down before R4, and VIX is starting to increase. We've got the crossover there down on the VIX and still climbing. Am I too late to enter a call credit spread here? Work meetings have me ruin everything. Too late? I don't know if it's necessarily too late. Just wait for an opportune moment. You know, it's you don't want to get yourself in a position or you buy right before. You want to squeeze out the best premium for the risk, and you don't want to buy right before we kind of turn back upwards here. Let's see. What do we got? If I can get this red action down to R3, I'll look at go ahead and closing this call credit spread just to take the risk off of a face-ripping bull rally into close. That'll be roughly 50 to 60% if we get down that low. Can't quite get there just yet. The Bulls or the Bears don't have control at the moment. We're just kind of just shaking back and forth and swapping licks. Headwinds, yeah. Well, the first big one that we have to deal with is Russia. Yes, we've been talking about it a lot the past few weeks, but it's still very much on the table and can kick off at any time. And that's the most dangerous one because we don't know what the real intentions are with Russia and what they're actually going to do. Are they just going to suddenly kick up the dust and get things rolling and tank the market, or not? After that, long term, we've got inflation issues, we've got the rate hikes coming, we've got monetary policy is going to be completely unwound, and then we've got supply chain issues, which have kind of been put on the back burner, but they're still very much a concern. I know in New York, there's been signs going around saying, please only buy what you need because, supply chain issues and grocery stores and stuff like that. I know a lot of farmers. I've got farmers in my family down here in the South, and the main issue that they're facing is the cost of fertilizer is absolutely outrageous. Nitrogen, everything that you need to fertilize the crops are completely outrageous, and it's going to make for unprofitable years. And it's going to make for farmers to start to adjust what they're going to grow. And corn being the lifeblood of the supply chain of the United States. I mean, if you go into any product in the grocery stores, you can see what corn is in, and it's pretty much everything. Anything that's in a box has high fructose corn syrup or some sort of corn derivative. So the fertilizer is going to cause a huge issue, not to mention the absolute supply chain issues. So just wait for stuff to happen. It's going to be a feisty few years for sure. For sure. And I think the market has a lot of headwinds. Just my 2 cents, though. A lot of that stuff's way over my pay grade, but can you do our ASMR thing? What, talk it down? Come on, let's fall. Just drop. Just drop in now. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Keep going. 444. Can we break below? Come on. In Microsoft puts 11. It's working. It's working, Peter. You're doing it. Can't break R4, which is just above, or just under, I'm sorry, the AM range. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I'm curious. And because I've heard about this rumor before. I've never been like as a civilian to travel overseas and whatnot. And for our Europeans, like England, whatnot, when you've ever come over to the United States, did you ever taste food like the equivalent food that you have over there, like a Hershey's candy bar or something like that, and like this is terrible because it's so sweet or it's got so much high fructose corn syrup in it? I'm just curious about that because I know we don't use the same stuff over there. Yep, Mexican Coke is delicious. Every time I go to a Mexican restaurant, I see if they got that Mexican Coke. Whenever I do have a regular Coke, because they use that pure cane sugar instead of the HFC or CS. Hey, there's a red candle. Come on, baby, let's go. You can do it. All right, is it time to start trimming some CCSs? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I'm just about at 50%. I may start taking off some risk. I just don't trust the market. Fantastic gain so far for what I got. Y'all know me, I'm a big fitness person. Like, I love fitness. I think it's a huge part of being successful in your mindset. I think a huge problem is lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle. In addition, obviously, to the high fructose corn syrup and the high calorie dense foods that we consume. But like, how many people have like? When's the last time you've got your heart rate up? That's the thing. I don't want to go too far off on that, but I know people that they can't remember the last time their heart rate was above like a resting heart rate because they don't do any fitness. And it's like, man, that's terrible. How much money do you need to trade call credit spreads? I mean, you could do it under 25. The problem is you don't have enough funds to defend in the event that things go against you. You need to have some funds left over in reserve to defend the position. So, but I mean, and I would probably recommend waiting until 25, just so you don't have to deal with PDT and you don't have to deal with limited margin, and you can have some money, but to defend positions. But the thing is making sure you don't overextend yourself. So, and to utilize that margin. When you for your long, hey, big greens still can't break down inside the range here. So bulls still very much in control and defending these positions. For your long-term trading account that you move profits into, is it a regular cash account so you're not buying shares on margin? No, it's a margin account, but I don't buy shares. I know not to buy shares on margin. Yeah, buyers are still very much here and present. They're not letting any red go at all. And if this continues, we will climb up through R5. And I even tried to get out of some like call credit spreads there, but unfortunately that green just came too quickly. I haven't done that David Goggins challenge. No, I'd like to though. Anything associated with that dude's name is pretty aggressive. Nice, got a Peloton. Well done. My favorite low impact fitness is the stair climber. That thing will smoke you. Put on a sweatshirt and then a hoodie on top of that. And go 30 minutes to an hour. Oh yeah. All right, so I want calls above R5. I want puts below R4. We're just chopping right in between now. And right there, if you're wondering, was $1.50 rage off there in minutes. Brought my call credit spreads right back to break even. I was up about 55% on those. Brought them right back to break even. Yeah, the salt bike is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That thing is my nemesis. All right, now we're starting to breach R5 again. Watch VIX. We're now down to 2680 and dropping. The VIX starts coming off, the rally might start coming. Right back to R5. I'm going to go on mute here for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Bond still upward trending. XLF is as well. I'm giving this a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the morning and just get a few things done behind the scenes. But as always, you can always ask questions to come in the Discord. Shoot me a question in the trading room or in the DMs. Microsoft downtrending. Apple's top of their range. Google, Tesla. Tesla's going nuts. 8% on Tesla. Look at that. Tesla never ceases to make you to be boring or not boring. Exciting. Facebook rounding over just a touch, and Nvidia. But out of all of them, Microsoft is looking the weakest, coming back down to 308. XLF still up top. How am I feeling for these call credit spreads? I'm up slightly on these things. Next time I get 50% on these, I'm going to go ahead and close. And then if I don't see a breakdown of the EM range, I'll still go ahead and close them because I just don't like this action. I'm 60 points out on the short strike still, but that's nothing in this environment. I think we can all attest to that after last week. So I am not going to test the market or challenge the market at all. If I get a profit, I'm out, and we'll just reevaluate tomorrow. Because the buyers will not step out. There's no selling action here whatsoever that is overcoming the buying. It's just straight up ever since there's no pullback at all. This isn't even just not even a pullback relative to the overall move. So we launched right out of the gate and have been going and going. So that when I see that type of action, it makes me queasy on call credit spreads. So the second I can get out of them, I'll look getting out. I don't trust it. There's another bull action there. If we keep testing that upper range here, eventually it's going to pop up and go. So I want to watch this volume right there. It is diminishing. But the NASDAQ is about to, it just now broke new highs, and the futures are going to look like it's trying to make a move for it. I've got the 4480s up and ready. When do you take profit? 10%, 20%, or 50, or just take profit and profit is there? I take profit based around a thesis. So some days I let it run, some days I cut it short, some days I'm happy with 5%, some days I'm happy with 50%. It all depends on a thesis. Right now, with my call credit spreads, I want to take anything. I'll take any healthy profit, 10, 20, 30%. It's all based on price action. I'm pretty much to the point here where I'm not going to let the market run on me because we're only now, it's, it just went up another $7 here. So we're only 50 something points away from my short leg. Way too close for comfort for me. So I'm going to be looking to any kind of rally, and these premiums will get juiced to $4, and I'll face a couple 100% loss, and I don't want to deal with that. Even if it does decay back down because we're still outside the money, I don't even want to deal with that. So what I'll do is start throwing in calls to hedge against the upward mobility and to reduce losses, and then start looking for an exit on my call credit spread if we get that strong bull action. We do have 30 minutes until Europe closes. Let's see what the Europe markets are doing at the moment. Let's go back to that. They are rallying hard. Okay. UK. Swiss market is rally. They were down. Now they're just going, as well as the UK just completely bouncing up off of the lows they had in the morning. That's correct, Ycam. Yeah, that's correct. Just doing the 0 days. All right, looking at 4470 calls right now. Well, they already had a big dip early this morning, and now they're kind of buying up. So right now, we'll see how things go, and I'll continue to monitor these conditions as we go forth. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and call that a morning. It is 10:05 Central, 11:05 Eastern Time. I'm going to go ahead and hop off here, take care of a few things. If you have any questions, as always, throw them in the room or shoot me a DM. You can ask anybody, including myself, a couple other trusted individuals in the room. But thank y'all for hanging out with us. I hope you learned a little something along the way. If you're new to the community, check out the Patreon account starting tomorrow so you don't get double charged. But come over and hang out with us. Learn a little something. We've got a big year ahead of us. Tomorrow starts the Tier 4. A long-awaited Tier 4 where you get your hands on veteran. He gets to come in here and help you manage your funds, find out a little bit about how to produce some income-generating plays to help pay for that mortgage. So look out for details today. I'll be rolling out more today and then posting live for you to sign up tomorrow morning, February 1st. Tomorrow will be only for Discord, your Discord stream. The YouTube will be coming back on Wednesday morning. As always, if we get some more volatility in the afternoon, we'll jump on and trade it together. So thank y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all be safe, trade smart, make some money, make smart decisions. I'm out.